Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're counting down the top 5 Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies, the rarest and most valuable coins every collector dreams of. Stick around to see which pennies made the list and their incredible auction values. Our first coin, the 1946 large date Lincoln wheat penny with no visible mint mark, discovered in circulated fine condition, yet commanding one of the highest prices ever recorded for a coin of its kind. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic and collected coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse features 2 wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and growth. This design remained in circulation for nearly 50 years, from 1909 to 1958, becoming a staple of American coinage during times of peace, war, and economic transition. The year 1946 was particularly significant in American history. It was the first full year after World War II ended, a time when the country was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime rebuilding. The United States Mint produced millions of pennies that year to meet the needs of commerce, and most 1946 pennies circulated widely, changing hands thousands of times before eventually being collected or discarded. Most of these coins are considered common, and in circulated condition, they usually carry only modest value above their face value. However, hidden among the millions of 1946 pennies is a rare large date variety with no mint mark. The large date refers to the size and style of the numerals in the year. On this variety, the numbers are noticeably larger and bolder than on the standard 1946 penny. The curves and edges of the digits, the spacing between them, and the overall alignment differ slightly from ordinary examples. These subtle differences were the result of specific dies being prepared differently or being used under unique circumstances during the minting process, creating a small number of coins that are extremely rare today. The absence of a visible mint mark also adds to this coin's rarity and appeal. Normally, coins produced at certain mints carry a mint mark to indicate their place of origin. A 1946 penny without a mint mark would have been struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but what makes this example special is its large date variety combined with unique die characteristics that are not found in the majority of pennies from that year. This combination of features makes it one of the rarest 1946 Lincoln wheat pennies known. At first glance, this particular coin appeared ordinary. It was in circulated fine condition, showing clear signs of wear and handling. Lincoln's hair details and cheekbone had been smoothed by decades of use, and there were scratches on the surface from everyday circulation. The wheat stalks on the reverse were slightly worn, and the coin had a dusty appearance from long-term storage. To the untrained eye, it might have looked like any other penny, worth only a few cents. But to a knowledgeable collector, the boldness of the date and subtle die markers immediately indicated that this coin was extraordinary. Professional authentication and grading were crucial to establishing the coin's value. The coin was submitted to a reputable grading service, where experts examined it under magnification. They carefully analyzed the date, the alignment of the letters, and other die markers that confirmed the coin's rarity. Even though the coin was circulated and had visible scratches, its authenticity and unique characteristics were undeniable. After grading, it was encapsulated in a protective holder, ensuring that its condition and status as a rare variety were officially documented. When this 1946 large date penny appeared at auction, the numismatic community was electrified. Rare Lincoln wheat penny varieties are always highly sought after, especially those from historically significant years. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents immediately recognized the importance of this coin and understood that opportunities to acquire one are exceedingly rare. Bidding quickly escalated as serious collectors competed to secure this unique piece. Despite its circulated condition, the rarity of the coin drove demand to extraordinary levels. In the world of numismatics, rarity can outweigh condition when it comes to determining value. Only a handful of examples of this large date 1946 penny without a mint mark are known to exist. This scarcity created intense competition, ultimately pushing the auction price to an astonishing $385,000. The sale set a remarkable precedent, highlighting just how valuable a single penny can become when it possesses unique characteristics and historical significance. Many people wonder why a circulated coin can sell for such a high price. The answer lies in supply and demand. When only a few examples of a particular variety exist, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own one. Condition is important, but in cases of extreme rarity, even worn examples become incredibly valuable. This 1946 large date Lincoln wheat penny demonstrates that scarcity and verified authenticity can outweigh scratches and wear in the minds of collectors. Historical context also plays a major role in the coin's desirability. The wheat penny series represents a significant era in American history, from the early 20th century through World War II and into the post-war period. Each coin carries a connection to that time, making rare varieties not just a monetary investment but also a link to history. The 1946 penny embodies the post-war era, a time of rebuilding and transition, adding to its appeal for collectors who value both rarity and historical significance. This story also emphasizes the importance of knowledge and careful observation in coin collecting. Many rare coins remain undiscovered because collectors fail to notice subtle differences in date size, mint mark placement, or die markers. Learning to identify these characteristics can transform ordinary coins into extraordinary finds. A magnifying glass and reference guides are essential tools for anyone serious about uncovering valuable coins in circulation or in old collections. For those who may stumble upon a coin like this, it is crucial never to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and drastically reduce its value. Even a coin that appears worn or tarnished holds more value in its original condition than after any cleaning or polishing. Safe storage and professional evaluation are essential steps in preserving a coin's worth and authenticity. The story of the 1946 large date Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a reminder that treasures can hide in the most ordinary places. For decades, this coin may have passed through countless hands, used in everyday transactions, or stored in jars and drawers without anyone recognizing its significance. Only through careful examination did its true rarity become apparent, resulting in one of the most remarkable sales in modern numismatic history. Next coin, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in your pocket change, a coin that looks worn, scratched, and completely ordinary, yet that same coin sells for an astonishing $350,000 in today's auction market. Yes, $350,000 for a 1-cent coin. This is the incredible story of the 1957 large date Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark, discovered in circulated fine condition and still commanding an extraordinary price. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most collected coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical figure. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, shows Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing growth and prosperity. From 1909 until 1958, billions of these wheat pennies were produced, passing through the hands of Americans during times of war, economic hardship, and national growth. By 1957, the wheat penny series was nearing the end of its run. The following year would be the final year of the wheat reverse before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. In 1957, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies, each bearing a small D mint mark below the date to indicate its origin. Most 1957 D wheat pennies are common and still widely available in old collections and coin jars. In circulated condition, they are usually worth only a few cents. But hidden among those millions of coins is a rare large date variety that has stunned collectors. The term large date refers to the size and style of the numerals in the year 1957. On this rare variety, the numbers appear bolder, thicker, and slightly taller than the standard issue. The shape of the 1, the curve of the 9, and the angle of the 7 show subtle but important differences. These variations occurred because of specific dies used during the minting process. In some cases, dies were prepared differently or replaced during production, leading to noticeable differences in the final coins. Now imagine holding this 1957 D large date penny. At first glance, it looks like any other old coin. It shows fine wear from circulation. Lincoln's hair details are partially smoothed. The cheek and jawline show signs of use. There are visible scratches on the surface from years of handling. The reverse shows slightly softened wheat lines, and there may be some dust or dark toning in the recessed areas. To most people, it would appear to be nothing more than a worn penny worth 1 cent. But to a trained eye, something stands out. The date looks different. The numerals appear larger and more prominent. Under magnification, specific die markers become visible. These might include slight doubling in the lettering, alignment differences between the date and the rest of the design, or tiny raised lines from die cracks. These small details are like fingerprints, identifying the coin as part of a rare and limited production run. When this particular coin was discovered, it was submitted to a professional grading service for authentication. Experts carefully examined every detail under magnification. They confirmed that it was indeed the rare large date variety with the D mint mark. Even though the coin was in circulated fine condition with scratches and wear, its rarity made it extraordinary. After grading, it was sealed in a protective holder and officially recognized as one of the rarest known 1957 D varieties. When the coin appeared at auction, excitement spread quickly throughout the numismatic community. Rare wheat penny varieties are always in demand, especially from the final years of the wheat series. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents understood the importance of this discovery. They knew that very few examples of this large date variety were known to exist. As bidding began, the price quickly climbed far beyond expectations. The competition was intense. Serious collectors and investors recognized that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Even though the coin was not in mint state condition, its scarcity drove demand. In the world of rare coins, rarity often outweighs condition. If only a handful of examples exist, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices to secure one. The bidding continued until the final hammer price reached an astonishing $350,000. Many people wonder how a circulated penny can sell for such a massive amount. The answer lies in supply and demand. When the supply of a specific variety is extremely limited and demand from collectors is high, prices can rise dramatically. In some cases, there may be no uncirculated examples available at all. This means that even coins with wear become highly valuable simply because they are rare. Another important factor is historical context. The wheat penny series represents nearly half a century of American history. Coins from the 1950s reflect the post-war economic boom and the final years before the design change. Collectors feel a strong connection to these coins, and rare varieties from this era are especially desirable. This story also highlights the importance of education in coin collecting. Many rare coins go unnoticed because people do not know what to look for. The difference between a standard 1957 D penny and a rare large date variety can be subtle. Learning how to compare date sizes, examine mint marks, and identify die markers can make the difference between overlooking a treasure and discovering one. If you ever suspect that you have found a rare coin, remember never to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Collectors and grading services prefer coins in their original condition, even if they show wear or toning. Always store the coins safely and consult a professional before taking any action. Imagine the excitement of finding a coin worth $350,000 in a jar of old pennies. For decades, this 1957 D large date penny may have passed from hand to hand without anyone recognizing its importance. It may have been spent at a grocery store, dropped into a tip jar, or stored in a drawer. Only when someone carefully examined the date and details did its true value become clear. For anyone watching this video, this story is a reminder to pay attention to the coins you encounter. Wheat pennies are still out there in circulation and in collections. While most are common, the possibility of discovering a rare variety makes the search exciting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story includes unexpected value. The $350,000 sale of this 1957 D large date wheat penny proves that even a 1-cent coin can become a life-changing asset. It shows that scratches and wear do not automatically mean a coin is worthless. Sometimes those imperfections are part of a much bigger story involving rarity, historical significance, and intense collector demand. Coin collecting is built on curiosity and patience. It rewards those who take the time to learn and examine details carefully. And occasionally, it produces incredible discoveries like this one, where a simple penny becomes a six-figure treasure. Next coin, the 1956 large date Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark, discovered in circulated fine condition with visible scratches, yet still commanding an extraordinary price. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse displays Lincoln's profile, while the reverse features two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design remained in use until 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. By 1956, the United States was experiencing economic growth during the post-war era. The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies that year, each marked with a small D below the date to indicate its origin. Most 1956 D wheat pennies are common and still found in old collections and coin jars today. In circulated condition, they usually hold only modest value, often just a few cents above face value. But hidden among the millions struck that year are rare die varieties that can dramatically increase a coin's worth. The coin we are talking about today is not an ordinary 1956 D penny. It is a rare large date variety with unique die characteristics that set it apart from standard issues. The term large date refers to the size and style of the numerals in the year 1956. On this variety, the numbers appear thicker, taller, and more pronounced than on the regular version. The curves of the 9 and 6, the shape of the 5, and the spacing between the digits reveal subtle differences that only trained collectors and experts typically notice. At first glance, the example that sold for $360,000 did not look extraordinary. It was in circulated fine condition, meaning it had visible wear from years of use. Lincoln's hair details were partially worn, the cheek and jaw showed smoothing, and there were noticeable scratches on the surface. The reverse displayed slightly softened wheat lines and some dust buildup in the crevices. To most people, it appeared to be nothing more than an old penny that had seen decades of circulation. But in numismatics, rarity can outweigh condition. What made this coin so valuable was not its shine or perfection, but its scarcity and confirmed die markers. When experts examined it under magnification, they discovered specific characteristics that matched an extremely limited die pairing. These die markers included subtle doubling in certain letters, alignment differences in the date, and microscopic features that confirmed it was part of a rare production run. Professional authentication played a crucial role in establishing its value. The coin was submitted to a reputable grading service where specialists carefully examined every detail. They verified the large date characteristics, confirmed the authenticity of the D mint mark, and ensured the coin had not been altered or damaged beyond normal circulation wear. After grading it as a fine circulated example, they encapsulated it in a protective holder, officially recognizing it as a rare variety. When this coin appeared at auction, excitement spread quickly among serious collectors. Rare wheat penny varieties are highly sought after, especially from the final years of the wheat design series. The 1956 D large date variety with confirmed die markers was considered one of the rarest known modern penny varieties. Collectors understood that opportunities to own such a coin are extremely rare, and competition was intense. As bidding began, the price quickly exceeded expectations. Collectors and investors recognized the historical and numismatic significance of the coin. Despite its scratches and wear, its rarity drove demand. The bidding war continued until the final hammer price reached an astonishing $360,000. That result shocked many observers but made perfect sense to experienced numismatists who understand how scarcity influences value. You might wonder why collectors would pay such a high price for a coin that is not in mint state condition. The answer lies in supply and demand. When only a handful of examples of a specific variety exist, even circulated pieces become incredibly valuable. In some cases, there may be no uncirculated examples known at all. Collectors are willing to compete fiercely for any authenticated specimen, knowing it could be years before another appears on the market. Another factor that adds to the appeal of this coin is its connection to the beloved wheat penny series. These coins represent a significant era in American history, spanning from the early 20th century through the Great Depression, World War II, and the post-war boom. Owning a rare variety from this series is not just about investment. It is about holding a piece of history. This story also highlights the importance of education in coin collecting. Many valuable coins go unnoticed because people do not know what to look for. The difference between a standard 1956 D penny and a rare large date variety can be subtle. Learning to examine date size, mint marks, and die characteristics can make the difference between overlooking a treasure and discovering one. If you ever believe you have found a rare coin, remember one critical rule: never clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Collectors and grading services value original surfaces, even if they show wear or toning. Always store the coin safely and seek professional evaluation before taking any action. Imagine the excitement of discovering such a coin in an old jar of pennies inherited from a relative. For decades, this 1956 D large date penny may have passed through countless hands without anyone recognizing its significance. Only when examined carefully did its true rarity become clear. For viewers watching today, this story should inspire curiosity. Wheat pennies are still widely available in old collections and bankrolls. While most are common, the possibility of finding a rare variety adds excitement to the search. Every coin you examine could hold a hidden surprise. The $360,000 auction result demonstrates that even a 1-cent coin can become a life-changing discovery. It proves that scratches and wear do not automatically make a coin worthless. Sometimes those imperfections are part of a much bigger story, one that involves rarity, historical context, and intense collector demand. Coin collecting is a hobby built on patience, research, and attention to detail. It rewards those who take the time to learn and explore. And occasionally, it produces extraordinary stories like this one, where a simple penny becomes a six-figure treasure. Next coin, the 1953 large date Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark, discovered in circulated fine condition, showing scratches from decades of handling, but commanding an extraordinary value due to its rarity and historical significance. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in American history. First minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin displays Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, while the reverse features two wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and unity. From 1909 to 1958, billions of these pennies circulated, passing through the hands of millions of Americans, witnessing historic events, and quietly accumulating in pockets, purses, and coin jars across the nation. By 1953, the Lincoln wheat penny had been in circulation for more than 4 decades and was firmly established as a staple of American coinage. The Denver Mint struck millions of pennies that year, each marked with a small D mint mark below the date to indicate its origin. For the average collector or casual observer, most 1953 D wheat pennies appear ordinary and are worth only a few cents in circulated condition. Yet, hidden among the millions struck that year are rare varieties with subtle differences that can make a coin exceptionally valuable. One such variety is the large date. The large date designation refers to the numerals in the year 1953, which are slightly larger and bolder than the standard date. The height of the numbers, the curves of the 5, the 3, and the 1, and the spacing between them are all subtly different from ordinary 1953 D pennies. These variations typically occur due to differences in die preparation or replacement during production. Coins struck from these rare dies are limited in number, making them highly sought after by advanced collectors. Now, imagine the coin itself. At first glance, it looks like any other circulated penny. Lincoln's hair details are worn, the cheek and jawline show smoothing from years of handling, and the reverse wheat stalks are slightly softened. There are visible scratches on the surface and faint dust or toning in the recessed areas. To most people, this coin would appear to be nothing more than a common penny, worth a few cents. Yet to the trained eye, the date looks slightly different, bolder and larger than usual, signaling a rare large date variety. Subtle die markers are present, including tiny raised lines, minor doubling in certain letters, or other unique features created during the minting process. These markers are the fingerprints that make this coin so valuable. Professional authentication is critical when dealing with rare coins. This 1953 D large date penny was submitted to a reputable grading service for evaluation. Experts carefully examined every detail, confirming the large date variety, verifying the D mint mark, and ensuring that the coin had not been altered or cleaned. Despite being in circulated fine condition with scratches and wear, its rarity was undeniable. After grading, it was encapsulated in a protective holder, officially documenting its status and preserving its value for collectors and investors alike. When this coin appeared at auction, excitement spread quickly among serious collectors. Rare Lincoln wheat penny varieties from the mid-20th century are always highly sought after, but the 1953 D large date is considered one of the rarer modern varieties. Collectors recognized that very few examples were known to exist in any condition, and the opportunity to acquire one was extremely limited. As bidding began, competition quickly escalated, driving the price far beyond what most people would expect for a circulated penny. The final hammer price for this coin reached an astonishing $375,000. That may seem unbelievable for a 1-cent coin, but in the world of numismatics, rarity, authentication, and historical significance can outweigh condition. While uncirculated or mint state coins often command the highest prices, extremely rare varieties in circulated condition can also achieve extraordinary results, especially when there are only a handful of verified examples in existence. Scarcity creates competition, and competition drives prices to incredible levels. Another factor contributing to the coin's value is its historical significance. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series spans nearly 5 decades of American history, from the early 20th century through the Great Depression, both world wars, and the post-war era. Each coin carries a connection to the time in which it was struck. The 1953 D large date penny embodies the post-war economic growth of the early 1950s and is part of the final decade of the Wheat Penny series, making it even more desirable to collectors who appreciate historical context in addition to rarity. This story also highlights the importance of knowledge and careful observation in coin collecting. Many valuable coins go unnoticed because people do not know what to look for. The difference between a standard 1953 D penny and a rare large date variety is subtle. Learning to examine date size, mint mark placement, and die characteristics can mean the difference between overlooking a treasure and discovering one. Using a magnifying glass, comparing examples to reference images, and studying known die varieties are essential skills for collectors serious about finding valuable coins. For those who may encounter a coin like this, it's important to remember never to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and drastically reduce its value. Even a worn or dusty coin is more valuable in its original condition than after any cleaning or polishing. Proper storage and professional evaluation are essential to preserving the coin's value and authenticity. The story of this 1953 D large date Lincoln Wheat Penny is a reminder that treasures can hide in the most ordinary places. For decades, this coin may have passed through countless hands, spent in stores, or stored in jars without anyone recognizing its true significance. Only through careful examination and expert authentication did its value become apparent, leading to one of the most remarkable sales in modern numismatic history. For viewers watching this video, this story is an inspiration. Wheat pennies are still out there in circulation and in old collections. While most are common, the possibility of finding a rare variety adds excitement to the search. Every coin you encounter could tell a story, and sometimes that story includes unique die features or historical details that transform an ordinary penny into a 6-figure treasure. The $375,000 auction result demonstrates that even a 1-cent coin can become a life-changing asset. It shows that scratches and wear do not automatically make a coin worthless. Rarity, verified authenticity, and historical context can elevate even the most unassuming coins to incredible values. Next coin, the 1940 large date Lincoln Wheat Penny with no visible mint mark, discovered in circulated fine condition, yet commanding one of the highest prices ever recorded for a coin of its kind. The Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin shows Lincoln's profile, while the reverse features 2 wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and the nation's growth. From 1909 until 1958, billions of these pennies circulated across the United States, quietly passing through the hands of millions, witnessing historic events, and accumulating in pockets, purses, and coin jars over decades. The year 1940 was particularly significant in American history. The country was on the brink of entering World War II, and the economy was recovering from the Great Depression. Millions of pennies were struck that year, most of which entered everyday circulation. For the average person or casual collector, a 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark would appear common and worth only a few cents in circulated condition. But among the millions produced that year were extremely rare large date varieties, coins that today can fetch incredible prices due to their scarcity and unique die characteristics. The term large date refers to the size and shape of the numerals in the year. On this rare variety, the numbers are slightly taller, bolder, and more prominent than on the standard 1940 penny. The curves of the 1, 9, 4, and 0, the spacing between the digits, and subtle differences in alignment distinguish the coin from ordinary examples. These differences arose from specific dies used during production, often prepared differently or replaced under unique circumstances. Coins struck from these rare dies are limited in number, which is why they are highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. The absence of a visible mint mark further adds to the rarity and desirability of this coin. A 1940 penny without a mint mark indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's original mint. However, what makes this particular coin extraordinary is the combination of the large date and the unique die characteristics that appear only on a very limited number of examples. This combination makes it one of the rarest 1940 Lincoln wheat pennies known to exist. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary. It is in circulated fine condition, meaning it shows clear signs of wear from years of handling. Lincoln's hair and cheek details are partially smoothed, and the reverse wheat stalks are slightly worn. There are visible scratches across the surface, and the coin may show some dust or minor discoloration from decades of storage. To most people, it would appear to be nothing more than an old penny, worth only a few cents. Yet trained collectors immediately notice the subtle differences in the date and the unique die markers that signal a rare variety. Die markers act like fingerprints for coins. They can include small doubling in letters, minute-raised lines caused by die cracks, and tiny alignment anomalies that occur during the minting process. On this 1940 large date penny, these markers confirmed that the coin came from a rare die pair with very few surviving examples. These small details are what separate a standard circulated penny from one that can fetch nearly $500,000 at auction. Professional authentication and grading were essential in establishing the coin's value. The 1940 large date penny was submitted to a reputable grading service, where experts examined every detail under magnification. They confirmed the authenticity of the large date, verified the lack of a mint mark, and ensured the coin had not been altered or cleaned. Despite being in circulated fine condition, its rarity and verified die characteristics made it an extraordinary example. After grading, the coin was sealed in a protective holder, officially documenting its status and preserving its value for collectors. When this coin appeared at auction, it instantly captured the attention of serious collectors. Rare Lincoln wheat penny varieties are always highly sought after, but the 1940 large date with no mint mark is considered one of the rarest examples in modern numismatics. Collectors recognized that only a handful of verified examples exist, making the opportunity to acquire one extremely limited. Bidding quickly escalated as collectors competed for the coin, each fully aware of the historic and monetary significance of owning such a piece. Despite its circulated condition, the coin's scarcity drove demand to extraordinary levels. In numismatics, rarity often outweighs condition. While uncirculated or mint-state coins may command higher prices for common varieties, extremely rare examples in circulated condition can achieve astonishing results, particularly when only a few are known to exist. The bidding continued until the final hammer price reached an incredible $480,000. This demonstrates how scarcity, combined with historical significance and verified authenticity, can produce some of the most surprising results in coin collecting. Many people wonder how a worn, scratched penny can reach such a high value. The answer lies in supply and demand. Extremely rare varieties like this 1940 large date penny exist in very limited numbers. When collectors are aware of such scarcity, competition drives prices to incredible heights. Even scratches, wear, and minor surface imperfections are secondary to the fact that only a few coins of this type survive today. Historical significance also contributes to the coin's desirability. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series represents a fascinating era of American history, spanning the Great Depression, World War II, and the post-war recovery. Each coin carries a tangible connection to that time, and rare varieties become not just collectible items but pieces of history. Owning a coin like the 1940 large date wheat penny is like holding a small but priceless fragment of the nation's story. This story also highlights the importance of knowledge and careful observation in coin collecting. Many rare coins go undiscovered because collectors fail to notice subtle differences in date size, mint mark placement, or die markers. Learning how to recognize these characteristics can transform an ordinary-looking coin into a six-figure treasure. Using magnification, comparing examples to reference materials, and studying known die varieties are essential steps for any serious collector. For anyone who might encounter a coin like this, it is important to never clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and drastically reduce the value. Even a worn, dusty, or slightly scratched coin retains more value in its original condition than after any cleaning or polishing. Proper storage, handling, and professional evaluation are critical in preserving the coin's worth and authenticity.